It started as a joke, a flashlight game we saw on TikTok. 1 flash for yes, 2 for no. Stupid, right? We weren't drunk. We weren't high. Just bored. So we tried it. We asked dumb stuff. Like, are we alone out here? And then, the light flashed. 1 flash. That meant yes. We laughed until we realized no one touched it. We figured it was a glitch. But then we asked again. We said, are you human? It flashed once. And then, we saw more lights. Floating. No one holding them. That's when we ran. We didn't grab our bags. We didn't look back. We just ran toward the road. We thought we escaped. But when we looked behind us, they were still there. We hid behind a log, barely breathing. The lights just floated by, like they were looking for something. 1 passed right over me. The beam went across my face. But it didn't stop. It didn't see me, or maybe it did. We tried to go back to the car. But something was waiting for us in the path. Tyler screamed at it, called it out. That's when the flashlight tilted, like it was listening. It aimed the beam straight into the trees, like it was signaling something. And then, we saw something up there. Something crawling. Watching. We ran again. But the lights were faster now. They weren't floating anymore. They were chasing. I slipped. My flashlight hit the ground. In the reflection, I saw it. Just standing there. Tyler was right behind me. And then just 2 lights left in the clearing. I was the only one left. And one of those lights was pointing right at me. The light kept following me deeper and deeper into the dark, dense woods, moving slowly but surely, almost like it was alive, watching every step I took with a silent patience that made my skin crawl. The forest around me was thick with old trees that reached high into the sky, their twisted branches blocking out most of the moonlight. I stumbled into an old, broken-down campsite, tents torn and sagging, camping chairs tipped over, and the ground covered in thick layers of dry leaves, broken twigs, and scattered dirt. The air was heavy, cold, and still, broken only by the faint whisper of the wind through the trees and the distant call of an owl. But that strange, glowing light didn't stop moving. It floated silently between the trees like a ghost, casting cold, flickering shadows that twisted and stretched across the forest floor like long fingers trying to grab me. My own flashlight was broken and useless, but this eerie light felt different, like something alive, something watching me with quiet, dangerous patience. It crept closer and closer, and I could feel my heart pounding louder and louder in my chest. A cold chill ran down my spine and my hands trembled as I tried to steady my breath. I reached out my hand, desperate to touch it, to understand what it was, but the light slipped right through my fingers like smoke, disappearing and then reappearing just out of reach, like some cruel trick played by an invisible spirit. Suddenly, without any warning, more of those ghostly lights appeared all around me, floating silently like restless spirits summoned from the shadows. They surrounded me in a circle of cold, lifeless beams that made my skin crawl and my blood run cold. I tried to scream for help, but my voice caught in my throat and died in the cold night air. Only the sound of my own fear echoed back at me from the towering trees. I was exhausted, terrified, and shaking uncontrollably as I collapsed onto the cold, hard ground, my body heavy and weak. Slowly, the lights began to fade away, sinking back into the mist and shadows, leaving me alone in the pitch-black darkness, with only the sound of my ragged breathing and pounding heart. When I finally woke up, I was safe in my own bed, but deep down, I knew the nightmare was far from over. Every night since then, the flashlight in my closet turns itself on without any warning, shining its cold, pale light and answering my thoughts, as if it's still watching me, waiting for something. No matter where I go, no matter how far I run, I'm never truly alone. Sometimes, when the house is silent and the night is darkest, I swear I hear faint tapping on the closet door, or see the flashlight beam flicker as if trying to send me a message. The fear never leaves. The game never ends. And I wonder, will it ever let me go?